So, welcome back everybody to another video of my Elite Dangerous series. I am currently still flying my Sidewinder, and as you can see here, I'm in a bit of a bad spot here because I have started combat with a federal dropship. And the federal dropships, even though this one is harmless, is very maneuverable and is probably the ship type that gives me the most headaches, besides perhaps an Anaconda. But I'm still flying at this point the Sidewinder with the lone beam lasers, or with the basic beam lasers, sorry. I've actually bought them back, but they're still the very first beam lasers. And as you can hear, I'm getting hit here by these turreted beam lasers from the dropship, even though this guy is only harmless. So, as you can see, I'm strafing to try to remain behind him, but that's the problem with the dropship. This thing is really very maneuverable, and especially with these turreted weapons, it basically can always keep you in this firing arc, and you have to be very, very lucky to actually get behind him, and requires quite a lot of maneuvering to stay in his blind spot. And even then he can just out accelerate you and basically then turn around. And as you can see here, not only do I take a lot of damage, but these burst lasers run out of juice very fast, even though I have allocated 4 bars towards the burst lasers. And this only gave me 4,000 credits, so a little bit later on here, I'm currently trying out different weapon configs. I've used 2 Gatling guns, but the problem with the Gatling guns is the same as I had in the beta already with the Viper, that it costs a lot of money, and basically you pay about, I think, 7,000 credits if you expend all of your ammunition, and you just barely make a profit. So I've saved a little bit and bought myself this beam laser. This beam laser is very, very nice because actually you can use it at any time. Once your ammunition is depleted for the Gatling guns, it's basically game over and you have to return to the station, even if your enemy has just 1% hull remaining. I've actually had this with a Cobra Mark III, and I was so desperate because I wanted to get that kill that I actually took me a better part of about 5 minutes to line up a ram on him, and I actually rammed into him, but the only thing it did was reduce my Sidewinder to half of its health, took off all my shields, and he didn't have a scratch, so it's not a viable option, but I wanted to test it out anyway. And The problem with the beam laser and the multi-cannon here is that you need to, or you achieve the best results when you're below 1 kilometer apart from your target. So you have to close in. As you can see here, this Cobra actually he's a master rank, so he deployed chaff, which momentarily throws off my aim. And as you can see, this beam laser basically has very, very large capacitator, so you can shoot for a very, very long time on a target. And given the fact that it can never run out of ammunition, it's a very nice addition. And I'm just very recently changed to a normal cannon and the beam laser, which is a nice result as well. But I haven't got around to film any footage with it yet. As you can see here, I'm slicing this Cobra up pretty nice. I really hope that YouTube doesn't butcher up the quality of this, because you can see all the details on the Cobra here. And at least to me, it seems that the beam laser has a much larger range than the multi-can. And as you can see here, now we found a python. This is, I think, the first python that I actually engaged. And we're still flying our Sidewinder with the standard loaned power generator, with a standard loaned frameshift drive and thruster assembly. I think my my sensors are upgraded a little bit, but basically it's still the very basic setup that you start out with. I've just upgraded my bulkheads, the reinforced bulkheads, and the weapons basically. And I think the biggest problem is that you actually have to find a place where you can buy these things like the power generator or thruster assemblies, because I've checked around a lot in all the systems I went through, but none of them had any stations that would sell these kind. And as you can see here, basically the Python has left and right firing turrets. So basically, as long as you stay below it like this, you're out of the firing arcs of the turrets, and that really is information that you need to know when you're dealing with these ships, especially when you're in something like a Sidewinder or an Eagle, because you can't really get away with attacking them or just boosting away. You're basically slower than every other ship, and you're not as hard hitting. As you can see here, the Python is boosting away. And the problem I had with the multicans as well was that when I was actually attacking or doing bounty hunting, I could take down 2 or 3 ships with it, but after that I would run out, especially if the ship in question was a big ship like a Python, like a federal dropship, something like that. And with this beam laser, I have much more staying power or lingering time on at the scenarios such as this navigation beacon. I can fire away with one cannon while using the beam laser as a backup, and you can basically just take the shots when you can actually maximize the effect of the multican because you're very near to the target. As you can see here, I'm immediately stopped firing once he's out of reach, while you can still use the beam laser. And the beam laser, on the other hand, has a tendency of working best when your target presents a bigger area to fire at, like he's doing currently. But even with the beam laser, I'm very hesitant to shoot at targets that are further away than about a kilometer, because from my experience I must say that the farther you're away from your target, the less the power is that the beam or the damages the beam laser actually does. And when on several occasions I actually had this, that an enemy was shooting with me at beam laser, and it was basically they were just laser pointers. They didn't hurt my even the shields, the very lowly shields on the Sidewinder. It was just a light show, and that's so the reason why I'm trying to keep fire discipline, to just use the laser when the target is actually well within range and I can actually do damage to him. As you can see here, basically he was aiming straight for me, but as soon as you drop below his bow, he actually can't shoot you like this. The problem that I have with especially higher ranking enemies is that they actually know how to get there. And as you can see, this is more like it. It's 6,000 credits bounty. So that's nice. And here we go. You can't see it yet, but you'll probably see it in a second. This actually is an elite Viper, so this is as hard as it gets on AI pilots, and I'm taking it on in my lowly Sidewinder. And what I can tell is basically it is possible to hunt down basically every ship type currently in the game with your Sidewinder if you know what you're doing. I'm flying far from perfect, but as you saw in this video up to this point already, I didn't have too much of a problem with taking down even larger ships. And as you can see here, this is the problem that I have, or that you have, regardless what you're flying, because when the enemy knows what he's doing, like this Viper is, he's keeping his distance and he's regenerating his shields or recharging his shields while he's so far away from me that actually my beam laser isn't doing much damage, and I have to be very careful even with my multi-cannons to keep firing discipline, because the farther away he is, the higher the chances is that you're actually missing with your multi-cannon, which is another reason for me for my switching the multi-cannon to a normal just one-shot cannon, because it's more controlled. You can actually or you're training your fire discipline with that, because it has a slower moving bigger bullet, and it's a hit or miss. If it hits, it does damage, and it does very good damage, but you have to really think ahead to know when the target is not turning and when he's going to continue his flight path. As you can see, I'm currently struggling to keep up with him. At the same time, I have to apply pressure to him because I need to keep his shields down. And now he's opening up on me. He got burst laser turrets. As you can see here, I'm again on his underbelly, so I'm actually below his guns. That's the only way that you can basically evade his fire. And his shields are up again, because he actually, I think he has uprated shields. So I now have to whittle down his shield again. And this is basically where I mean, I only have about 60 rounds of multi-cannon here, so I'm basically now have to wait for him to be well within my range, that I don't miss with the last few bullets that I have. I can only shoot at him when he's near, and these are the basically the times when you really need are at an advantage with your beam laser. And as you can see here, actually I've maneuvered myself into a little bit of a disadvantage, because he now basically can do his attack runs while I can't even get my heading around to face him. And there goes another attack run of his. but now I'm actually able to close in on him. He's deploying chaff to throw off my aim, so I hold out off from the trigger, or from the hold off on firing. And as you can see, he only has 8% hull integrity left, but with his shields I have to basically wither it down, battle it down to actually destroy him. And this is going to take some time. And now he's opening up with rockets here. Now I'm about around 40% hull integrity still, but he basically has all the aces now. He has the speed. He can or can basically go to the distance, or to go to distance from me, and then turn around and line up his attack runs on me. I basically can only try to hit him. As you can see here now, he's actually in range, so that were my last shots from the multican. I used it to weaken his shields. Now I only have my laser left. This would normally be the time where I had to disengage and basically jump back to the station, but because I have the beam laser now, I can actually remain in the fight. But this is going to be quite a bit of work now, because I actually have to take down his shields and then take down the remaining 8% of his hull. As you can see, his shields are pretty much weakened by now, but and there they finally go, I think. He's boosting away, so luckily for me though, he turns here, so if he would have gone in a straight line, I probably wouldn't be able to hit him. So his shields are gone. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. And now here's the last 2%. Yay, 70,000 credits. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.